After a decade of running a business, being a small business owner in this community, I've been able to identify the number one biggest challenge. That's overcoming obscurity in the marketplace. If people don't know who you are, what you offer, and what you do, how are they going to pick up the phone and give you a call when they need your services? That's why we're starting the Bizness podcast, helping small business owners and great leaders in our community overcome obscurity in the marketplace through our platform. Tune in every Friday, 1 p.m. as we bring leaders straight to you. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the Bizness podcast. And cut a long story short, one day I was walking outside the gym. Someone came up to me and said, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" I was like, oh my gosh, this person doesn't know what I do for a living. And that's when it hit me. Overcoming obscurity in the marketplace. If no one knows what you do, that's right. How are they ever going to pick up the phone, give you a call, or ask for your help? So we are here to help small business owners and, more importantly, business leaders in the community. Yes. One leader at a time. Come on in. Go ahead and chat it up. And cut a long story short, this is the Bizness podcast. Let's talk about your business, talk about where you're from. Sure, I am happy to announce and wrap it up with my man, Charles and Denali, as one may say. Yes. Welcome. Yes. Welcome to the Bizness podcast, guys. You know what I mean? I appreciate you guys coming on. Appreciate you guys coming on.
So excited.
Now listen, Mr. Marley and Charles just got back from Uganda, right?
The motherland. Yes. Yes.
Man, tell us about the motherland. How did it feel getting off that plane and stepping on to the motherland?
Man, everybody has got to feel that at least one time in your life. I'm telling you, it was like your spirit connected with the land. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People were so warm, so loving, so kind.
It was like the Matrix, man.
Man, the Matrix, man.
You know how it was with the Matrix. You didn't have the knowledge. You didn't really know what was going on. It's going to hit you with the connection. Boom.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the first person I met, her name was Rachel. She actually was a queen. Mm-hmm. So
really?
I was actually welcomed in by a queen. She was like, welcome to Uganda. Welcome home to Africa. Then she hit me with the Matrix, man.
Wow. And you just felt that.
Yes.
And then I started dancing, man. Everything got natural.
Man.
You know what I'm talking about? I'm
like, just nice and relaxed, chill. Bro, this is where I should have been the whole time.
Right, yeah. You what am I doing? Yeah.
So, Charles, tell us a little bit about yourself, my man.
Hey, native of Arkansas, man.
Okay.
Yeah, native of Arkansas. That's kind of where I came of age. Yeah. But I was born in Texas.
Okay.
Because it's not where you're from. It's where you. How they say it? Something like that.
Yeah.
Born in Texas, lived in California, man, until I was about 6. Then moved to Arkansas.
Okay.
Came of age, man. Went to school, played a little football and all of that stuff. Long story short, came to Oklahoma. Went to Langston University. Shout out to the HBCU.
Yes.
Graduated in 2000, moved to Tulsa, man. Got into business, did some real estate and a lot of those things, and eventually got into community development. Yeah. So for the last 10 years, it's 10 years this month.
Yes.
Wow, hold up.
10 years this month.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I've had my business for 10 years too. I'm not trying to be selfish, but man, this is the Matrix, man.
This is the
Our worlds
Matrix.
just colliding, a progression, man.
Yes. 10 years this month. World One Development.
Congratulations, guys.
Yes.
And to be upgrading to CEO as of January 1st. Wow. So executive director for 10 years. I'll be CEO next year.
Congratulations.
EduRec, Youth and Family Fund Center, which is where we connected.
Yeah, that's where we connected.
53,000 square feet, man. 15 acres of land of just fun. Youth and Family Fun for the kids there in North Tulsa. That's when I caught up with you.
Yes.
And you was in the beginning of your stuff. You was in the infancy stages as well. Came on, helped us with our basketball team.
Man, love it.
Yes.
Shout out to Tori.
Man, my boy Tori Hooks, man. Tori Hooks, man. Let me tell you something about Tori real quick. So I was coaching for 3C Sports here in Broken Arrow, and it was my first time coaching. And you know when you coach, it's kind of a draft lottery pick. I was like, man, please, Dikembe Mutombo, or maybe a 7'2" kid from China who's adopted, man. Come on, man. I need a squad. And in comes Tori with his 2 boys.
Yes.
Into the gym. They got to pass through 5 or 6 teams before they get to my team. And all of a sudden they came. I was like, "Oh man, I get this kid." I already know he was shooting from the half court, half line, about 4th grade. That kid out. Okay, the kid out of diapers, but man, he's hitting from half court.
This
is crazy, man. Yeah. So after a couple of months, I was like, or a couple of weeks, I was like, "Hey, do you mind helping me coach?" He's like, "Hey, what do you need?" He pulled a clipboard out of his back pocket and put a whistle came down from Jesus himself. Man. He's like, "Whatever you need." Hey, we've been boys ever since, and obviously. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have got to build that great relationship with you guys in EduRec.
I'm Denali Wilson. I'm the Executive Director of Operations right now, and moving up to COO.
Congratulations,
come January
Denali.
1st. So really excited about that. I am a native Oklahoman and a native Tulsan. have been here all of my 54 years, and have watched North Tulsa just kind of decline. When I was growing up in North Tulsa, we had everything we needed in community. We had grocery stores, we had retail stores, we had, gas station. I mean, we had everything. And, just kind of watched the neighborhood just kind of decline. People just started moving out to suburbs and just left, the community just barren. And so I joined World One for Christ Family Life Ministries probably 17 years ago. I think 17 years this coming January. And when I joined, the one thing that I loved about the church was that it focused on working outside of the four walls of the church. And that's how I got involved, and that's what hooked me to the church. And so I ended up becoming and working with Charles when he actually started with our EduRec Youth and Family Fund Center. Then I came over to volunteer one day. I got bamboozled. That's what I'm just going to tell you.
Right,
I got bamboozled. He was like, hey, can you come over here and help? And I'm like, sure. And I get there and I'm like, where's everybody else? And he's like, it's just me and you. I'm like, okay, well, let's just make it happen.
Yeah.
And so I've just been there ever since, because my heart has always been to be able to uplift our community.
Yeah.
And so we've been able to create relationships and friendships north, south, east, and west, and bring those resources into community in one hub. And so people know now that they can come to EduRec. If I need food, well, I'll come to EduRec. They've got an answer. They may not have the food, but they can point me in the direction of where I need to go.
It's a great resource, isn't it?
Exactly. We have sports programs, spring break camps, summer camps, after school programs. We think of things outside of the box, just like when the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
We were set and ready to go with our spring break camp.
Yeah.
And then we had to pivot, because when everything got shut down, and the city was shut down, then we were like, okay, what are we going to do? We know that most of the time kids only eat in the community that we serve. They only eat when they're at school.
Yeah.
So if we have kids at home with, how are they going to get breakfast? How are they going to get lunch? What are we going to do? So what did we do? We came up with EduRec Eats. Yeah. What that was a virtual cooking program.
Oh, come on. I love that, man. I love that.
And you came out and you donated money.
I've got to eat some of the food from the champion of the cooking program, man.
Exactly. But we just thought about, let's do something outside of the box. And we brainstormed and we hooked up, because our local community, we did not have a grocery store. It was a food desert. And it still is considered a food desert, but it's a little bit less of a food desert now, because we have one grocery store, Oasis Fresh Market, but we tag team with them to be able to bring some awareness about the fact that the grocery store is coming in, because North Tulsa is different. You just can't come in and place your business in North Tulsa and think it's
seed a little bit early, right?
Exactly. Okay. So you got to make sure you're connecting with the right folks in order to be able to be successful. So we partnered with them, and we came up with this cooking competition. We started out with 50 kids, dwindled it down to the final 3. And we were able to give cash prizes. We were able to give, those kids were able to receive free groceries for a year.
I didn't know that.
For a whole year.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Yeah. It's just, EduRec it's sometime in your community, you got to take what you got and work with it.
Yes.
So this building was just an old building. It was a school Wiley Post from 1964. Mm-hmm. So we took that old building and we renovated it. So instead of it being a sore eye in the community, graffiti all over the wall, we took it, renovated, and said, hey, this is going to be a place where recreation and fun meet.
So 10 years, you're coming on 10 years. What's next for this program? How do we get to that next level? Because I've been involved and I've seen the progression and the growth. Is there anything on the horizon? What's the next step?
I'll tell you the big thing. This breaking news. Nobody even know this
yet.
I'm going to break the news right here.
Wow. Yeah. Right here on the Business Podcast?
Right here on the Business Podcast. It is the
Come on. Drum roll.
We got approved through Choice Neighborhood.
Yes.
To do a EduRec Business and Activity Center.
What?
$4 million.
Yes.
Oh, man. Let's go.
And it's going to be coming online in the process starting next year.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's designed because as we build out North Tulsa, you need a hub for entrepreneurs to come in, kids and adults to learn. So it's going to be a commercial kitchen. It's going to be a gym for our EduRec Bears.
Oh, man.
It's going to be rooms, executive offices. So it's a level up. I don't think nothing like this has happened in North Tulsa.
Yeah.
It's nothing around that I have seen ever to happen. So that's big news.
That's real community efforts right there, because, you can bring entrepreneurs in, but what about keeping the entrepreneurs we have?
Exactly.
Right.
So that could be a great vessel to keep the talent we have.
And then also training up the next generation.
Absolutely.
You know, because we need to have, if there is nothing in community to channel these kids' energy, then they're going to turn to things that we don't want them to be involved in.
Yeah.
So if we offer a space where they can come in and be able to be trained in something they enjoy doing, not something that they are forced to do because they have to do it, you know, then that makes for a disaster.
Yeah.
So if it's something that you enjoy doing, like being in the culinary arts, you know, that's one of the programs that we're going to, offer, because we're going to have this, plush commercial kitchen that we're so excited about.
It's really because I like food.
Yeah,
it really is because he likes food. Yeah,
we love food.
Yeah,
we
gotta eat
food.
Yeah.
What's the best way to get plugged in? Come and serve, be part of it, even contribute financially. What's the best way to do that?
The first thing, just go to our website. Go to eddirecttulsa.com. Our Facebook is Eddirect Tulsa. Our Instagram is Eddirect Tulsa. Everything is Eddirect Tulsa.
Everything,
You can definitely get plugged in, because then you can see what's going on, pick up on the energy. But then you also can give us a call, 918-430-3947.
Okay.
And we'll get that call. We have a volunteer form. We do background checks because we're dealing with kids.
Right.
Absolutely.
And if you like to do things with a spring break camp for 1 week, that's cool. If you want to do a summer camp, which is 4 weeks school, if you would like to, if you're a math teacher or you do arts or something like that, our after school program is the full school year. So you can come out for 1 hour a week, 2 hours a week, so you can engage where you want, where you're comfortable.
Yes.
And you guys got so many different things going on. There's so many different opportunities on the weekend, during the week, in the evening, in the morning time, as one may say, which is exceptional there. Let me ask you guys this. Is more than EduRec, you guys, it seems like you guys are doing so many different things. So you guys have your own radio show.
We do.
Right? And you guys must have the best marketing department, because I get text every morning of reminders, man. I don't know who's behind the marketing department, but I need that technology for my customers.
Yes.
I need that's you?
That's me.
Man, I love And so, but man, you guys are on it, man. Tell us about the radio show.
That's so funny.
It's we on locally we on KBOV 89.9 FM. So that's the local radio station. Our show is called World One Development News You Can Use.
Yes.
Okay.
And our goal is just that. Our goal is to bring you the news that you can use locally, nationally, and internationally. So anything and everything that's going on, our goal is to have all that information there.
Yeah.
We have guests that come in, so they'll talk about business, development, if they're doing a grocery store. If it's anything that's going on, we bring them in. Somebody needs some insurance from State Farm, we bring them in.
Hey, I could get neighbor.
Good point.
Your homeboy is there, is what they say. You know what I mean?
We let everybody come on to speak about what their platform is, instead of you walking into the voting booth and you just checking people because you remember seeing their name on a sign.
Yeah.
And they could be totally opposite of what your beliefs and values are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's about educating folks. We have the police report, which is a segment that we do on our show the first Wednesday of every month, to encourage police community relations, because a lot of times, there is that gap that needs to be filled. So if we can have a police officer that is a friendly face that's talking to community before a situation happens.
It's being proactive, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have the medical report with Dr. Andre Ferdue, who is a neurologist right here in Tulsa, but he's talking about Black health, which is something that we don't talk about. Oftentimes Black men will not go to the doctor regardless, and so to see somebody that looks like them, that's giving them information about this is why you should, not forcing you to do it, but this is why you should, then that makes a difference, and it starts to break down those walls, so it's an educational piece, so we use that as, just, hey guys, in order for us to do better, we got to know better. And now that we know better, what are we going to do with that?
I love what you've been saying this whole time. Is it comes down to knowledge, and I heard a saying, you got to know KNOW. Well, if you take away the K for knowledge and the W for wisdom, you're left with a whole bunch of no's.
No. Yeah.
So it's so important to make sure that we're educating the community. And it seems like you guys have multiple platforms.
Sure.
Which kind of brings me on to just kind of the final segment here is you guys are very successful. Okay. You guys bust your tail, you work hard. Right. What advice or tips do you have? We'll start with you, Charles. What advice or tips do you have to consistently be great? That's what they say.
You said the first thing, because you said consistency. We were just talking about that on the radio. I would say you need to, for me, my faith in God. You know what I mean?
Amen,
which gives me a heart to want to help myself, but yet help others in my family. So I would say that first, and then you have to be intentional and be consistent. I've learned I don't care what you want to do. If you want to be the best dog catcher, or if you want to be on your own company, business, grocery store, you be consistent. You keep going, and don't feel like you're losing. You don't never lose. You learn, or you win.
Yeah,
and treat people right. Don't have a crab in the barrel kind of mentality.
Yeah.
Cheer on other people. Don't become envy and jealous of somebody else.
Yeah.
Cheer other people on.
Cheer them on.
That means you're in line.
Yeah.
It feels much better.
Yeah.
So, and then partner with people.
Yeah.
Don't get out here by yourself. Don't be an island to yourself. Reach out to your brothers and your sisters and others.
Yeah.
And just kind of work together in harmony and always give back.
Yeah, I love that.
I would say you have to find your reason why. Your reason why you get up every day. And that comes from, again, your faith. You've got to ask God, what is it that I am here to do? Why am I here?
Yeah.
And once you figure out what your why is, then the rest of it kind of falls in line. You're going to have bumpy roads and, you're going to have those days, but it'll fall in line for you. You can't do things because of somebody else, or you're trying to, somebody got a new car, so I'm trying to get a new car. Somebody got a new house, so I'm trying to get it. No, you've got to follow your own path. And you've got to make sure and understand that what you're doing is because that's what you are divinely supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
You're in the right space at the right time doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times what happens is we get caught up. And then in getting caught up in that space, now you dig yourself into a hole.
Yeah.
And so you can't let other folks define who you are and what you are.
Yeah.
You've got to know for yourself and just walk in your path. And people are not going to like you for it. People are going to talk about you because of it. People are, who does she think she is? Or who does he think he is? But you've just got to keep walking in your truth. Because what ends up happening is, my favorite saying is favor ain't fair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, favor will find you.
Yeah.
You know, and then everybody else will be sitting there like, with their arms crossed, like, how did she get to do this? Well, because you weren't there when I was scrubbing toilets.
Yeah.
You weren't there when I was out here in the rain and the wind, opening up gates, at Edgerec, trying to make sure the facility was open. You weren't here when we didn't have enough money to pay the electric bill, and I had to use my own money to pay the electric bill. You weren't here. So because I was there, that's why God is blessing me now, because I was consistent.
Yeah.
I stepped to it. Even though there were some days when I woke up and I thought, man, I don't even know if I want to do this. I might need to go on back to corporate America.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to lie to you.
Getting tested there,
But I was like, nope, I got to stick to it, because in my gut, I felt like I got to stick to it. And because of that, now we get a trip to go to Uganda.
Yes.
To be able to bless people abroad, because we've been faithful with the little that we had here.
That's amazing. Well, I appreciate you guys sharing. I know for me personally, one thing that when you're trying to really make it in life and push is, I've got to hit this goal, got to hit that goal, whatnot. But if you really focus, you're always going to achieve your goals.
That's right.
So then it's kind of like a mind shift change. Okay, I'm going to hit this goal, but what about progression? What about growth? Real growth? What about potential?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try and hit our potential. Well, it's kind of hard to hit your potential because your potentials should always be going up. So,
Absolutely.
But if you can just kind of shorten that gap and work towards that gap, that's a big thing that we do in our business and with our families, work towards our potential.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So both of you guys, does success look like you thought it would?
I worked in the car business and it was a great career for me. Did it for 5 years. However, I felt like there was a lot of things were communicated that may have not been true. And there's more my interpretation. And my interpretation of what's communicated to me is, if you make all the money, everything else will be taken care of. You can make all the money in the world, but you can't keep your marriage together. You can make all the money in the world, but you don't have a relationship with your kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so don't get it wrong. Money is important, but it's definitely not the most important thing. So for me, it's probably not even in my top 3 for the most part. Mm-hmm. And so for me, yes, it does look a lot different, because coming up in the game, I thought, hey, you got to have the money, you got to do this, got to do that. But it's kind of what Charles said. Mm-hmm. If your focus is on taking care of other people and bringing true value to those people, all that other stuff, including the money, will come.
Exactly.
If it's genuine and organic, it's going to come.
Yeah.
Take care of. So I would say success has changed a lot for me throughout the years.
I think it's different in every season. Yeah. And I would say when I first got to what I thought it was, which I thought was money, because now money does solve a lot of problems.
Sure.
Let me take that away.
But creates new ones.
But then after that, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And I think that's where getting in and giving back came into play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because what does your heart good? What gives you a peace of mind?
Yeah.
And me sitting here knowing we bless thousands of people.
Yeah.
That feels better to me as a success story understanding World One development of the local, national, and international in 2023.
Yeah.
Because I know the impact on people.
Yes.
That part is what makes me feel good more so than the zeros in my account or some of these businesses and all of that. And that's truly what it is, because at the end of the day, I'm just hoping God to say, job well done, my
good faith servant.
And when I look down, the world is a better place than what I found it. And if that happens, then I leave a legacy for my family and for my children and grandchildren. And then I'm all right.
That's awesome. How about you, Mr. Molly? You came up with a great question. How about you?
Yes, it's the same for me. You know, I came from corporate America. You know, I'm a certified legal assistant by trade. So I've worked for a lot of top firms here in this city. And, you know, my mindset was, oh, yeah, if I make more money, I can do this and I can do that. But then when I actually switched over, you know, about 9 years ago to actually start doing the World One development, and working in the World One development space, then, you know, it just became crystal clear to me that service is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because like you say, when you serve others, then all of that other stuff will come, because you are giving up, you know, your time and of yourself, you know, you're sacrificing, and God blesses your sacrifice.
Yeah.
And so it looks totally different. Like what I thought in my head about how success would be looks totally different from, you know, I feel more successful now than I ever have been in my life because of the number of people that I impact on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. And that's more gratifying and more satisfying than anything
around
that I
the
could
world.
ever around the world.
It's not just your neighborhood, it's around the world right
exactly.
there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I appreciate you guys sharing. I really appreciate you guys coming on. But more importantly, I appreciate just the invitation for the collaboration that we have and the relationship we have, and being able to make an impact bigger than ourselves.
Yes.
One may say. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Charles Harper and Damali Wilson. Appreciate you guys coming on the Business Podcast.
Yes.
If you guys want to be on the Business Podcast, go ahead and give us a shout. Hit us in the DM. Shoot us a message. We'll bring you in. Apart from that, guys, it was a true honor. I had a great time.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You too.
And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Let's roll. After a decade of running a business, being a small business owner in this community, I've been able to identify the number one biggest challenge. That's overcoming obscurity in the marketplace. If people don't know who you are, what you offer, and what you do, how are they going to pick up the phone and give you a call when they need your services? That's why we're starting the Business Podcast, helping small business owners and great leaders in our community overcome obscurity in the marketplace through our platform. Tune in every Friday, 1 p.m. as we bring leaders straight to you.